The air hums with the sound of forgotten stars. Alira stands alone among ruins, where glass trees pierce the violet sky, her luminous body trembling as though remembering a world that once sang. For centuries she believed herself the last Lithari, last light of a vanished race. But tonight, the wind carries something new. A sound no storm could make. A human heartbeat. A human heart. Her light flickers as fear and longing twist together inside her. Who could still breathe here? Who could still dream? In the silence between thunder, she whispers to no one, "Is this another soul?" The ruins answer with a low vibration, a pulse beneath the dust, calling her toward the shattered door of a forgotten cryo vault. Every echo of her step feels heavier, fuller. And when the final door opens, she sees him, fragile, pale, alive. In that instant, the universe changes its rhythm. The last of one kind meets the first of another. The vault breathes like a living creature. Steam curls through cracked vents as Eli stumbles forward, gasping for air that tastes like electricity. Alira steps back, her light dimming to a soft shimmer. They cannot speak the same words, yet their eyes trade entire histories. Fear, hope, disbelief. She sees the storm of humanity flicker behind his gaze. He sees galaxies reflected in hers. Between them lies the hum of the world, awakening again. Outside, the sky bends with magnetic storms. The ruins tremble as if welcoming something long forgotten. Alira gestures toward the horizon, and Eli follows, drawn by instinct more than trust. The storm's colors shift, violet to gold, gold to white, as though responding to their movement. For the first time in centuries, the earth remembers what it feels like to be seen. They find shelter beneath a collapsed dome of silver roots. Eli presses his hand to his chest, whispering a name he cannot recall. Alira tilts her head, sensing the echo of emotion, loss, deep and ancient. She places a glowing hand above his heart, feeling the rhythm of life she thought extinct. For a moment, they share silence so heavy it feels sacred. Night falls. The world hums again with faint awakening circuits. Above the ruins, the constellations twist into unfamiliar shapes. Alira looks up, whispering, "They're watching." Eli glances skyward, and for an instant, the stars blink in unison, like eyes opening after a long sleep. The last Lithari and the first reborn, humans stand beneath a sky reborn. The storm quiets, but the silence that follows feels heavier than thunder. Alira stands beside Eli beneath the flickering remains of the cryo facility, the floor alive with moving light. Every metallic surface hums faintly, whispering syllables neither of them understands. When Eli touches the wall, holographic symbols bloom from his fingers like fire. Alira steps closer, her body responding instinctively. Her glow resonates in perfect rhythm with his heartbeat. The ancient system recognizes them both. Words in forgotten tongues rise and collapse in waves, forming a voice that speaks through the walls. Connection detected. The phrase echoes through their minds, half mechanical, half divine. Alira feels tears that are not water, but light, realizing that something greater, something watching, has awoken between them. The holograms shift into shapes, faces, cities, stars, all memories encoded in the machine's dying core. Alira steps forward, tracing one of the glowing forms, and it reacts like a living thing, showing a vision of her people fading into the storm. Eli watches her. Unsure if he's witnessing a miracle or madness. When she turns to him, light streams from her eyes. "They're calling," she whispers. He can't understand her words, but he feels them. Eli tries to speak, his voice rough, unused. "Who are you?" he asks, the words trembling. Alira tilts her head, understanding only his tone. curiosity laced with sorrow. She points to herself, her chest glowing softly. Elira. Then she gestures to him. He hesitates, then answers, Eli. Their names hang in the air like fragile light threads, weaving a bridge no technology could build. The echoing AI whispers again through the air vents. Names bind. Signal accepted. Something deep within the facility stirs. Gears turning after centuries of silence. The power grid hums to life, and lights begin to travel through long-buried conduits. Toward the surface, Eli covers his eyes. Elira stands motionless, her entire form absorbing the rising glow. Then a strange sound fills the air. A whisper in every direction, soft and mechanical. Reconstruction process initiated. The earth above them trembles, and for a heartbeat, they both feel as if the world is listening. They climb toward the surface, following trails of light winding through the ruins. The wind outside carries whispers. Voices not of air, but of data, memory, language. Elira stops and looks back, eyes wide. It knows us now. She breathes, her voice trembling between awe and fear. Eli follows her gaze toward the horizon. The sky itself is alive. Lines of energy forming shapes like constellations rewriting themselves. And then a voice, faint, human, and familiar, echoes through the air. You're not alone. Elira closes her eyes. That sentence feels older than time. The first flash comes without warning. A bolt of white tearing the sky in half. Then silence. Then the storm. It rolls over the land not with rain or wind, but with memories. Voices, laughter, faces of the long dead swirling through clouds of light. Elira collapses to her knees as visions pour into her. Her people. Lythari. Singing across the stars. Their voices building worlds from sound. Eli watches, terrified, yet transfixed, as images of alien suns burn above them. The storm speaks in every language, and none. Remember us, it cries. Remember what you were. Elira reaches out, her body glowing brighter than ever before. Eli grabs her arm, grounding her, reminding her that she's here, now, alive. And for a heartbeat, the storm pauses, as if listening. The air becomes liquid with memory. Every droplet of light contains a story. Worlds that burned. Species that sang themselves extinct. Eli reaches out and sees images of human cities alive again for one breath before fading. Elira trembles, whispering, "It's them, my kin." She can feel their presence, each memory a heartbeat returning. But buried within that storm is another rhythm, darker, hungrier, as if something else has awakened too. The storm thickens, wrapping the world in radiant mist. Elira's voice grows distant, echoing like a choir of 1,000 versions of herself. Eli calls her name, his voice breaking. She turns to him, her body no longer entirely physical, edges dissolving into shimmering static. "I can see them," she whispers. "They're trapped in the light." Eli steps closer, desperate, his hand passing through her shoulder like through smoke. The connection between them flickers, fragile yet alive. Suddenly, the storm's tone shifts. Voices no longer cry. They scream. The light darkens, collapsing inward. Out of the chaos emerges a familiar pattern. A face made of lightning and shadow. Kareth, Elira's lost twin. His voice resonates through the air like breaking glass. "You left us," he says. "You forgot." Elira staggers backward, trembling. "You're dead." Kareth's face flickers, eyes like cold suns. "No, we are waiting." Eli watches in silence, realizing this is no hallucination. The storm itself remembers grief. The storm reaches its breaking point. Every memory, every echo converges into a column of pure light that stretches into the heavens. Alara steps forward, defying the pull of the storm. I remember now, she says, her voice steady. But I won't return to the past. Kareth's image screams and dissolves, his voice scattering into wind. The storm begins to fade, leaving behind silence and the faint sound of the earth's heartbeat returning. Eli stands beside her, exhausted but alive. What was that? He asks. Alira looks to the sky, her eyes glowing softly. The past. Letting go. When the last sparks of the storm fade, the land lies eerily calm. In the distance, something hums. Steady, alive. Alira and Eli follow the sound through a valley of fractured steel and molten glass. Beneath the ruins, the earth glows with veins of blue light pulsing like a heartbeat. The path leads them to a massive circular chamber buried deep underground, its walls breathing faintly, as though the place itself is alive. When Alira steps forward, the floor responds with ripples of light. Then, a voice, smooth, ancient, and neither human nor lithary, fills the air. Connection confirmed. Echo circuit restored. Alira's glow steadies. Eli feels warmth radiating from the ground beneath his feet. The chamber hums louder. They are not standing in ruins. They are standing inside a living machine. Alira presses her hand to the glowing wall. Immediately, the surface blooms with moving images, galaxies spinning, civilizations rising and falling, her people singing in harmonic light. This is it. She breathes. She breathes, the heart of my world. The voice returns, mechanical yet melodic. Lithari consciousness preserved. Human in fragment compatible. Alira turns to Eli, stunned. It knows you. Eli frowns, shaking his head. I don't even know myself. The wall flickers, projecting a memory not his own, a human scientist sealing cryopods, whispering, "Find the Lithari." The air trembles as the circuit awakens further. Light lines form across the floor, connecting the walls to the center of the chamber, where a sphere of molten light rises like a heart. Alira steps toward it, drawn by instinct. It's a soul engine, she murmurs. The place where my people stored themselves when the world began to fall. Eli watches as her form brightens, almost dissolving into the radiance. If you go closer, he warns. Will you come back? She smiles softly, sorrowfully. I have to know what's left of them. The sphere opens, not outward, but inward, revealing an ocean of light within. Alira's body hums with resonance, thousands of voices speaking in unity through her. She hears Kareth's tone again, but softer now, pleading instead of accusing. We waited for you to finish what we began. The echo circuit's voice joins him. Restoration possible. Sacrifice required. Eli steps forward, hearing only fragments. Sacrifice, he repeats, dread in his chest. Alira looks back, eyes glowing like dawn. To bring them back. It must take life to give life. The chamber shakes as the choice manifests. One path glows golden, the resurrection of the Lithari. The other burns blue, the preservation of what now exists. Alira stands between them, trembling, torn between the ghosts of her kind and the fragile human beside her. Eli reaches for her hand. You don't have to fix the past, he whispers. You just have to live. For a long moment, her light flickers between gold and blue. Then, she closes her eyes. Maybe living is the fixing. The sphere dims. The chamber stills and both paths fade into one soft white light pulsing in time with their joined heartbeats. The echo circuit whispers its final line. Integration complete. The world above trembles. From deep within the earth, the echo circuit's hum spreads outward, waking systems long buried. Across the horizon, the sky fractures, lines of gold and blue splitting the heavens like glass under pressure. Alira feels her light stutter, as if something inside her is being torn in two. Eli steadies her, but his hand passes through waves of energy surging from her chest. They're still trying to come through. She gasps. From the clouds above, a shape begins to form. Kareth, vast now, his essence merged with the storm. His voice rolls like thunder. You cannot refuse eternity. The ruins shake. Alira looks up, sorrow etched in light. Then I'll rewrite it. Lightning descends in ribbons of memory. Each strike births echoes. Hollow Lithari spirits crawling from the air, whispering fragments of the old songs. Alira steps forward, her body flickering violently, as if her soul is being torn between now and then. They think they're saving me, she murmurs. Tears of light falling onto cracked stone. Eli grabs her shoulders, shouting over the storm. Then make them stop. She meets his gaze, her voice trembling. They don't know how. The echo circuit speaks again, its tone distorted. Stabilization failing. Dual existence unsustainable. Eli stares at Elida as arcs of light spiral around her. She's splitting, half real, half luminous code. Kareth's face reforms above, pleading now. Sister, we can be whole again. Step into the light. Alira's glow flares. Wholeness is not life, she screams. The sky answers with another shattering roar. Eli steps between them, his body glowing faintly from exposure. For an instant, the storm sees him too, and hesitates. The world starts collapsing in on itself. Towers of glass and steel fold like paper, drawn toward the storm's center. The echo circuit's pulse becomes a scream. Binary, then emotion, then silence. Adar looks at Eli. If I cut the link, they'll vanish forever. He nods, voice breaking. Then let them rest. She closes her eyes and raises her hands. Light pours from her, brighter than dawn. Kareth cries out her name as he's torn apart into 1,000 motes of memory. The wind stills. The glow fades. Alira collapses, barely holding form. Smoke rises from what was once the sky. The echo circuit is silent now. No voice, no pulse. Only the faint hiss of wind through glass bones. Alira sits in the ashes of light, her glow dim to a flicker. Eli kneels beside her, touching her hand. You did it, he whispers. You saved us. She shakes her head, faint smile trembling on her lips. No, I just chose the living over the eternal. Above them, clouds begin to part, revealing a newborn sun, a fusion of gold and blue. Alira leans against Eli, her body faintly transparent. If I fade, she murmurs, promise me you'll remember. He nods. Always. The air shimmers as dawn spreads across the broken world. Alira rises, fragile but determined, her crystalline form now tinged with gold and soft blue. Eli helps her stand, still marveling at the subtle hum of life return. Above them, threads of light arc across the sky, weaving constellations into patterns neither human nor Lithari had ever seen. Alira stretches out her hands, and the threads bend toward her, forming a glowing bridge connecting the remnants of the ruins to the distant mountains. This is how we heal, she whispers. Eli touches the light, and for the first time in centuries, he feels warmth that is not human or alien. It is connection itself, tangible, alive. They walk along the bridge, each step illuminating path beneath their feet. Memories embedded in the stones flicker. Fragments of human cities. Lithari songs, moments from both their worlds. Eli pauses, looking down at a shard showing a child's laughter he doesn't remember. It's everyone, he breathes. Alira nods, her glow brightening. Not lost, just waiting to be remembered. As they walk, the bridge stretches endlessly, connecting past, present, and future in a thread of pure light. A sudden ripple disturbs the bridge. From the horizon, shadows of past Lithari ghosts rise, hesitant, their forms half-formed, flickering between memory and presence. Alira stops, extending her hands. "Come," she calls. The figures drift toward her, drawn by her light. Eli steps closer, unsure whether to interfere, but the warmth radiating from Alira convinces him. One by one, the echoes of her kin pass through the bridge, their forms solidifying slightly as they touch the threads of light. Connection is more than life. It is recognition, and each soul realizes it can exist without consuming the present. The bridge stretches into a vast canyon, where the sun touches everything in a warm glow. Alira turns to Eli, her eyes shimmering with hope. "We can rebuild," she says softly. "Not just the ruins, but trust, friendship, and memory." Eli smiles, the weight of centuries pressing on his shoulders, but finally lifted. "Then we start here," he says, "together." Alira's glow intensifies, the bridge solidifying beneath them as if responding to their resolve. Around them, the ruins seem to lean in, welcoming a future no one had dared to imagine. At the bridge's end, light pulses into the mountains, revealing hidden springs, forests of crystal, and the faint echo of life yet to come. Alira steps forward, hand in Eli's, and touches the glowing rock face. The pulse spreads outward, awakening dormant rivers and plants, and even the air seems to hum with possibility. "We are the bridge," she says, "between what was, what is, and what will be." Eli gazes at her, awed and certain. Together they are no longer just human and Lithari. They are the beginning of something new, a harmony of memory and heart. The first rays of dawn scatter across a world, reshaped by light and memory. Alira and Eli stand on the summit of the newly awakened mountains, their forms glowing softly in the morning mist. The ruins below shimmer, alive with faint echoes of both human and Lithari life. Alira whispers, "We did it. Not for them, not for us, but for everything that comes after." Eli places his hand over hers, feeling her pulse, the heartbeat of a new world. In the distance, fragments of former Lithari dance through the sunlight, merging with the returning wind. The sky hums faintly, a melody older than language itself, promising that nothing lost is ever truly gone. Rivers glint like molten silver, forests of crystal sway in a gentle breeze, and birds, strange hybrids of memory and flesh, sing faintly. Alira kneels by a spring, dipping her hand into the water which ripples with soft luminescence. Eli watches, tracing patterns in the light, realizing that their combined presence has begun a rebirth neither species could have achieved alone. "Everything remembers now," he says softly. "Even the smallest things." Alira smiles, her glow reflecting the sun's early warmth. "Then let's make sure they don't forget us either." Alira and Eli walk through a valley where ruins hum faintly, alive with threads of energy. Every step leaves trails of light, connecting past memories to the present. Creatures born from memory and reality peek from behind shattered walls, curious and unafraid. "This is our gift," Alira says, voice soft. "A chance to live and remember." Eli nods, feeling a deep serenity for the first time in centuries. Around them, the earth seems to pulse with a slow, deliberate rhythm, echoing the heartbeat of their unity. At the edge of the valley, a plateau rises, catching the first rays of the sun. Alira pauses, eyes glistening with hope and lingering sorrow. "We are not alone anymore," she says. Eli looks at her, understanding not just words, but the depth of her being. The sky shifts into a tapestry of gold and azure, as if the universe itself celebrates the bridge they've built. For a long moment, they stand together, witnessing a world breathing freely for the first time in centuries, a world that remembers without needing to cling to the past. The final light of dawn breaks fully, spilling warmth over mountains, forests, and rivers reborn. Alira tilts her head toward Eli, whispering, "We were never meant to vanish, only to change." He smiles, voice hushed. "Then we'll keep changing, together." Around them, the earth shimmers with threads of memory, life, and hope, weaving a world that belongs to neither human nor Lithari alone, but to both, and to everything they touch. As they step forward, hand in hand, their light blends with the sun. A new dawn beyond names, beyond loss, and beyond endings.